Well, good morning or good evening, and welcome to Beulah Bible Baptist Church again. This on a Wednesday night. We appreciate you being with us. We appreciate all the prayers and all the support, and as we prepare to go into, and we are going into a new year, 2021. All right, and if you could get your Bibles and turn them over to Psalms chapter 8. Psalms chapter 8. I want to share with you something from the Word of God that God gave me this morning and this evening that I want to share with you all about discouragement. We are living in some kind of discouraging times, discouraging ages where a lot of folks are discouraged. It kind of reminds me of the young fellow who was inducted many years ago when I was growing up. There was a draft still going on, and he was drafted and he was there for his pre-induction physical, and they had him all lined up and told him different things, giving him out orders and stuff, and carrying on, and the fella said it felt like that he was just a number, that he was nothing more than an expendable human flesh that was to be tossed around as nothing. In other words, he was very discouraged because of the way he was being treated, and then how he felt like that he was a nobody. And I can sympathize, I can answer to that, because I think a lot of people do that as well. But now I want to show you something and help you with discouragement on this Wednesday night. And let us pray. Father, please, I pray in Jesus' name, help the hearers and those that are around about us to understand and receive something from your word. We love you. Thank you for loving us, and I pray, Father, that you use this message to speak the hearts, and I pray it in Jesus' name. Amen, amen. It's a discouraging feeling, but now listen in Psalms chapter 8. I want you to look at what the Bible says in Psalms chapter 8. He says, the Psalm Davis was talking here, and he says, when I consider thy heavens, the works of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man, that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou visited him? You know, when you think about the vastness, when you think about who God is and what he created and what he done and what he, with his finger, how he could make things in there, you can become discouraged in a way of thinking. It makes you feel like you're a nobody. And that's not unusual today, especially in our homes. There are breakdowns in our home today where our homes are making, our children are being deprived, many of the love that they desperately need, because they don't feel like they're anybody, they're a nobody. We're living in a machine type age where feelings are just a number, where you're nothing more. You think about the government, you're nothing more than your social security number. And most of all, however, this dreadful ideal that one doesn't count for anything sweeps across this nation, that it doesn't count. And then there's times of the year when, at most of the time, when people don't feel it. But then there's times in the years when people feel like, well, this is the only time I count, and it's during election years. They don't care about me, nothing. And I'll tell you, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to feel like that you're a nobody, and it's sweeping our nation, it's sweeping our churches now. If you believe the Bible, now I hope you do. I hope you're a Bible believer. You have the assurance that God loves you. If you read the Bible, you'll see that God loves you. Unimportant as you may think yourself to be, I want you to know God thinks you're important. David is the writer here of Psalms chapter 8 here, and David he looked up in the sky at night and he saw the moon and the stars twinkling up there on the back of a black velvet background. And now imagine he got to thinking about himself. He said, what is man that thou? Who am I compared to all this? And when I look at it, he said, I see what you're doing, I see what you've done and stuff, and what am I? He couldn't, he could not help but be overwhelmed with the realization that God who fashioned, who done all this, who would put this, had put all this in control, had put the distant stars and hung the moon up on nothing and stuff. He couldn't get over the fact that with all that movement, that he'd taken that this God who done all that took special notice in just a mere mortal man. Now, not just any man, not all men, but he took notice of you and me. God knows you. If you're saved and born again, he knows your name. I think about that from time to time, how awesome it is. And I know we're living in a time where folks think that they don't believe in the rapture because it's not found in the Bible. They don't believe that God's coming back anytime soon. And I think that we're in the last days, most definitely. And I think that there's a time that we need to realize that could happen any time. But when God calls, he's going to call my name. And I get excited to think that the creator of the world, the great God that put all this together, as David was looking out and looking at the moon and the stars, the great God that knows my name. And when you think about that, you say, well, that's pretty awesome. It is awesome. God knows your name. I want to talk about discouraging nobody. The title of my message is The Discouraging Nobody. Early in my ministry, I was just a associate pastor. I was a man in ministry, and I went to visit one of the members of our church as they were coming out of surgery, and they was coming out of the anesthesiology and out of being under anesthesiology, and back in the background, as I was sitting there waiting in the room with them and their family and stuff, and this lady, she heard there was this church bell that you could ring in back there, and she said, "I must be in heaven." And she was kind of excited. Then she looked over, saw me, and she said, "No, I can't be. There's Brother Gary." Well, I'm going to tell you, that was kind of discouraging at first, and we kind of laugh and think about it funny, but I was early in my ministry. I was not saved very long. I wasn't in the ministry, but for a little over a time, and I was trying to be an encouragement and stuff, and she said, and when she said that, it was kind of discouraging to me. Now, let me help you with discouragement by sharing with you something of what discouragement means. What discouragement means for us. Now, discouragement is a dissatisfaction with the past, a distaste for the present, and a distrust for the future. Are you getting this? Now, discouragement is a dissatisfaction of the past. You're not satisfied what you did in the past. You're not content. You have a distaste. Because you're dissatisfied from the past, you have a distaste, or you don't have a comfortable feeling or taste for what you're doing in the present, and so then therefore it gives you a distrust for the future. If you have a bad past, and it will discourage you for the present that you're living in. But it doesn't have to be if you just realize who God is, and that he loves you, and that he cares for you, that he prepared a way for you, and that it will change your distaste. It'll change the way you feel, your presence now, so that you will have a better future. Folks, it's only going to get better for me and you as Christians. This is the worst it's going to be. Someone told me, he said, "Well, I hope 2021 is better." And I said, you might be looking at the best years now. 2021 could get worse than 2020 was. And he said, "Well, I hope not." They were discouraged already by the future. Well, the thing that I tell them is that for me, it gets better in the future. I'm not discouraged thinking about what's in the future. I'm excited because I know that one day Jesus is calling me home and we're going to heaven. I praise that you're saying the same thing in your heart. But discouragement causes dissatisfaction. Are you dissatisfied? Are you dissatisfied with your home life? Are you dissatisfied with the husband and the daddy that you are, the mom and that you are, and the wife that you are? Are you dissatisfied with that? And the reason you're dissatisfied because maybe you weren't what all you should have been supposed to be in the past, and then you're not doing anything to improve your present, and so therefore you're not looking forward to the future. I enjoyed my past growing up with my family. I think about my family, my boys all the time, and I enjoyed that. I wouldn't change anything at all. I've talked to people who talk about they wouldn't want to go again where they grew up, but I think about I enjoyed my time with my I was satisfied that I did the best I could as a father and a husband in the past. I am satisfied that I'm doing the best I can as a continued father, not only as a father, but as a grandpa, and with this present day. And I'm satisfied that with God's grace, I'll be all that I can be in the future. I'm not discouraged. I'm encouraged. Why? Because because God said He would take care of me. Not only discouragement is dissatisfaction, but it's an ingratitude. You know, we're not grateful for the blessings of yesterdays. We're indifferent about the opportunities that we have today, and we have insecurity remaining, insecurity concerning the future, or the strength for the future. You know, when you're not. If there's anything, and I noticed this again this Christmas holiday season, and I've seen it times and times before, where people are just not thankful. They don't have any ingratitude. They're very ingratitude or unthankful for the blessings that they've already had. They're indifferent about the opportunities or the blessings that they have today. You know, I tell people all the time, I said, just the fact that you can open your eyes is a blessing way more than some people do have the opportunity to play. But because if you're not careful, you get discouraged because of the blessing that you didn't see in the past, or you're missing the blessing that you're seeing today, and it scares you about, or it gives you insecurity about what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, God said, I'll be with you. He said He'd never leave me nor forsake me. What a blessing that is. I can be discouraged, sure. I have been discouraged. But I just think, you know, one of the things that makes people discouraged is you just not counting your blessing. You're not thinking about all your blessings. You're thinking about all your woes. You know, if you're there by yourself or you're off by your son, that's why it's always important for Christians to be in church and around other Christians as much and as you often can. Because if you don't, you get out in that world, you get alone by there, and you start thinking, and you'll get to where you're discouraged. You'll get where you're in gratitude. You won't think about your blessings. And the thing that we have in our churches, is a blessing that we have by being with each other. Not only is it discouragement, dissatisfaction, but it's ingratitude, but it's unawareness. Discouragement is unaware. We're not aware of the presence of God's beauty, of God being there. We're unconcerned for the needs of our fellow man, or we're unbelief for the promises of old. We're unaware. We're not aware of. We're discouraged because we're unaware of the things the beauty of things that God does. God puts some things in your path. So, boy, I don't like it. But later on you see, well, I will see the purpose. I see the reason for that. And it's the beauty of it. But not only the beauty of seeing that in the past, but it's the beauty of seeing that what God's done in the past, He will do for you now. And a lot of people just, they think about the trials and tribulation now, but they don't remember how God took care of. They are basically unaware, or making themselves unaware of how God's been taking care of you all along. We're unaware not only for ourselves, because we're zero in ourselves. We get unaware so much that we're unconcerned for our fellow man. People don't care for people like they used to. It used to be, when I was growing up, families were more conscious, more aware of each other, and more there for them. And then also we're unaware of the promises that the Bible gives us. You know, the Bible has made you a promise that God said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. He's given us a promise that He will come again. He's made us a promise that He's prepared a place for us. God said it's going to get better for us, you know. But yet we get discouraged. There's discouragement is because we're unaware. Not only is it that we're discouraged because of dissatisfaction, but for ingratitude and unawareness. But we're discouraged because we're impatient. We're impatient with time because we want time. We want it to happen now. We're impatient. We're impatient because of the immaturity of our thoughts. We're impatient with impoliteness to God. We're just not patient people. We get discouraged because it didn't happen when we wanted it to. It didn't come out the way I thought it would come out. And because we don't want to give, and we're not impatient because we're not giving God thanks like we did. You know, you can be discouraged. My title, again, my message is Discouraging Nobody. You're not nobody, you're somebody. When you think about who God is and how He comes and what He did for you, my goodness, what a great blessing that is to know that. Next time you feel discouraged, remember that God's sight, you're grander, you're more important than the brightest star out there. And God, Jesus said that. He says, would a man give his life for another? What a greater thought that He would never leave you nor forsake you. And make sure you attend, you know, the wonderful purpose God's got. God saved you. He's got something for you. But it's better for you to finish your journey, not discouraged, but encouraged. Why? Because you're somebody. God knows your name. I can see Psalm David looking up in the sky. He sees that moon hung up there on nothing. He sees all this stars sparkling and stuff. And I imagine he was encouraged. You know. He said, God loves me. I don't know why He would, but He does. Somebody that God loves so much that He did all this for you. Not only that, but He sent His only begotten Son to die on the cross for you. He said, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. God wants you to be saved. I tell you, how can you be discouraged when there's the great creator of the universe, God, that's sitting up there, who don't want you? He wants the best for you. And He has provided it. It's just yours today. May the Lord bless you. Thank you for being with us on Wednesday night. May the Lord bless you and you have a great time. Thank you for your prayers. God bless. Bye-bye.